Hey guys, we're going to do some blood flow tracing through this diagram. You should already have this printed or traced into your notebook or a blank sheet of paper. We're going to talk about this a little bit, and then we're going to trace blood flow. So try to pause the video, go get yourself a blue and red writing utensil. It can be a crayon, colored pencil, whatever you got. So real quick, it makes it look like the right ventricle here is larger than the left ventricle. That's not actually true. Remember, the heart is really hard to get from 3 dimensionals to 2 dimensionals because the heart is kind of twisted around itself. So this chamber is actually just as large, if not bigger, than the right ventricle. Okay, so let's start with our blue. Now, deoxygenated blood is not blue. I know that's kind of the common misunderstanding. Deoxygenated blood is kind of a dark maroon, purplish, red color, but we're gonna go with blue since that's the misconception. Okay, so the blood coming back from the body is deoxygenated, meaning all the oxygen's already been used. Comes down from the top, the vena cava here. Sure to have that labeled, and it comes up dotted line, dotted line, dotted line out of the superior vena cava. So it comes from the bottom of the body. Here's from the upper body. So your head, your arms come this way. Your lower body comes this way. And it all kind of pulls back into the, what would that be? So it's my left side, so the right atrium. Then it gets pumped down through tricuspid valve to the right ventricle. When the right ventricle pumps, it's going to get pumped up and out, pulmonary trunk, and then your left and right pulmonary arteries, because arteries leave the heart, pulmonary means lung. So I know that those are the pulmonary arteries. Dotted line, dotted line, dotted line, dotted line. Okay, so the blood has come in the heart and left the heart. Why did it leave the heart? Well, we need to go out and get oxygenated. Where does that happen? It happens in the lung. So my right, it's left, so this is a left lung out here. And then this is a right lung over here. So we can see that the right ventricle doesn't have to pump as far as the left ventricle because the left ventricle has to pump all the way out to the body. So this chamber is usually a little more muscular, and if you have a heart attack near this chamber, it's usually a little more lethal than if you have a heart attack in the right ventricle. All right, so grab our red writing utensil now because we are oxygenated. Oxygenated blood is red, so that is not a misconception. Obviously, if you've seen blood before, it's pretty deep red. So it's coming back from the right lung. This one goes behind, dotted line, dotted line, dotted line, dotted line, out into the left atria. And then from the left lung, they all kind of come together. They all kind of pull up in the left atria. Once again, the left atria is not smaller than the right atria. We're just, looking at a 2D image of a 3D object. So blood pools there, it gets pumped down through the bicuspid valve into the left ventricle. And when the left ventricle, is the most muscular chamber of the heart, squeezes, pumps up the aortic valve, dotted line, dotted line, dotted line. And so this is the aortic arch. This is going to pump also down to the body. So I'm not going to do a dotted line all the way down here, but theoretically this runs behind the heart to the descending aorta and to the lower body. So take a look at this up here. This is interesting at no extra charge here. You have 3 blood vessels here, and you would think that this supplies your right arm, this supplies your head, and this supplies your left arm. That's not actually how it works. This one right here supplies your right arm. This goes to your right arm. This one goes to the right side of your head. This one goes and actually splits off, and then it goes to the left side of your head and the left arm. So the left arm actually has worse blood flow than the right arm. So some things that don't quote me on, that's probably one of the reasons why when you're having a heart attack, the left arm goes numb. Because if you think about it, the right arm is getting the first supply of blood, but it's also not having to share with one half of your head. So because the left arm is actually having to share with one half of your head, that's probably why the left arm kind of goes numb, kind of tingly. It loses a little bit more oxygen when you're having a heart attack. Not all heart attacks are massive, meaning you could have a small heart attack where your heart just gets a little bit less efficient. So that might be a telltale sign. All right, so get this traced out. Make sure this is taped in your notebook, and you have everything labeled on there that I had on the canvas. I think it was Monday. And have a good day, guys. Have a good spring break.